What is up, you guys? It's Lexi here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to say thank you guys for all the support you have already shown me. I've gotten so many pictures of you guys doing yoga, and they're making me really happy. And I'm really excited to do some more of these. I've hit like almost 40 subscribers now, so I'm feeling kind of YouTube famous, but still, we've still got room to grow. So if you guys don't mind, and if you haven't done it already, please like and subscribe. In today's flow, we're gonna learn a couple new poses, which I'm super duper excited about because they're actually some of my favorite yoga poses, and I can't wait to show them to you guys. Right before we get into that, remember how last time in the last video we set an intention, and it was either I am happy, I am flexible, I am strong, whatever you wanted it to be. We're gonna do the same thing for this video, but it could be a different one. It can be, again, literally anything you want. Maybe you're feeling a little bit tired today and you want a little bit of energy, so your intention could be, I am energized, or I have energy. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the flow. Boop. All right, here we are in my magical little yoga destination. Just like in the last class, what I want you to do, now that you're in this spot right here and right now, I want you to think about that intention again and say it 3 times in your head, really loudly, like you're screaming in your own mind. So mine again is gonna be I am happy, because that's one that's super duper important to me. And I'm gonna say it 3 times nice and loud in my head. And let's scream it out loud together one time. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I got you. I didn't do it with you, but I definitely heard you. That was awesome. Now that you've got your intention set, I want you to remember that throughout the whole entire flow that we're going to do today. Again, it's not going to be too long. It's going to be pretty easy to follow along with, but don't let that leave your mind. If you start thinking about something that has nothing to do with right now, like if you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner, you have to go, boom, I am happy, okay? Simple as that. We'll do it together because I know I get distracted sometimes too. We're gonna start out our flow by doing a couple of those mountain breaths that we learned last time. So if you don't remember, when we breathe in, when we inhale, we sweep our arms all the way up to the sky. And when we breathe out, we float them all the way back down. So we're gonna do it 3 times together and just really start to think about our breathing. Feeling your breath float all the way up and all the way down. Let's do one more together. All the way up, reach up as big as you can, as tall as you can. And breathe out, bring our hands all the way back down. This time, instead of circling out our back, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hands and we're gonna bring them to our shins. So the front part of your leg right below your knee. And when we breathe in, we're gonna arch back and bring our shoulders and roll them all the way back and look up at the sky. Kind of like cow pose, except we're seated. And when we breathe out, we're gonna round our back and tuck our chin. Kind of like cat pose. And we're gonna keep going through this just 3 more times together. And you guys guessed it, this is actually called seated cat and cow pose. So just like that, let's shake it off. Let's shake that out. Felt a little good on the back, nice little warm up. Now, my shoulders are feeling a little bit tight today, and yours might be too, you never know. But I'm thinking we're gonna do some shoulder circles. So what we're gonna do is just start to roll our shoulders forward. You can grab them if you want, or you can just leave your hands down. Whatever feels better for you. I'm just starting to feel this, opening up a little bit. And then in order to keep it balanced, we have to go backwards. If you do have your hands on your shoulders, you probably look a little bit like a chicken. That's funny. I look like a chicken. And we're gonna go ahead and let that go. Shake it off, shake it off. Now we're gonna bring our shoulders up and down. So we're gonna bring them all the way up by our ears, feeling like we're super duper tensed up and our body's really tight. When we breathe out, we're just gonna let it go. We're gonna let out a sigh so that you can hear your breath. You can feel yourself letting go of all that negative stuff or that bad energy that we don't need. So our shoulders are gonna come all the way up, boop. While we breathe in, We breathe out, let it go. Let's do one more together. Breathe in, shoulders up. Breathe out, shoulders down. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. That felt pretty good to me. From here, we're gonna come into our first pose of the day, and that's gonna be called child's pose. So you guys can stay facing me, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn sideways. I'm gonna start crisscross applesauce because I'm sure that's how you guys are sitting right now. And what I'm gonna do is take my hands and place them all the way out in front of me, just like this. I'm gonna roll over onto my knees. I'm gonna bring my big toes to touch behind me. And then all I'm gonna do is press my hips back and walk my hands out forward. Go ahead and stay there. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about this pose while you guys are there. And it's easier for me to talk if I'm not doing it with you. But this pose is super duper duper common in yoga, and you're gonna do it almost any time you do yoga because it's really good at opening up your hips and just starting to completely warm up your body. It's also a really good place to come to for rest. So if at any point you're feeling a little bit tired in your class, or you don't really feel comfortable doing the pose, you can come back to child's pose. I call it kind of my safe pose because it feels good, it's relaxing, and it's just a good place to go to if you're feeling uncomfortable or just a little bit too tired to do the pose that you're doing in the moment. The pose we're gonna come into after child's pose is called tabletop, and if you remember, we did it last time you guys were here. So I'll walk you through it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull our chest all the way up so that our hands are gonna come underneath our shoulders and our knees are gonna be right underneath our hips. So you have a super, super flat back right on top of you. And again, we're gonna do some cat and cows. So we're gonna tuck our toes, drop our belly and look all the way up at the sky. Then we're gonna release our feet, round our back, tuck our chin. We're just gonna do this 2 more times. Again, when we inhale, moo, just like a cow. And we release to exhale, meow, just like a cat. We'll do one more together. I want to hear you guys really loud. And we exhale. And then we're going to come back to having a flat back. We're going to shake it out a little bit, shake it out, and we're going to come into downward facing dog. So if you guys remember from last time, we tuck our toes, lift our knees, and press our chest all the way back towards our thighs. This time we're going to do something called walking the dog. So we're going to bend one knee and press back in the opposite heel. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, just like you're walking a dog. Or as you could also say, you're wagging your tail. So you can go a little bit faster if you want, or you can take it nice and slow. Whatever feels best for you. And from here, we're going to go ahead and drop our knees down. Because I want to tell you guys one thing. When we're doing downward facing dog, you might start to notice that you're feeling it in your shoulders a little bit. And that's why it's super important for us to do those shoulder exercises like the rolls and the up and downs, because that helps warm up our body for poses like downward facing dog. If you're feeling off in downward dog or it's not super comfortable, just know that that's totally okay. It's a pose that your body's gonna have to adapt to. It'll start to get more comfortable in the shoulders and the wrists and even the back of your legs. So just give yourself time and keep practicing. On the count of 3, we're gonna see who can stand up the fastest. 1, 2, 3. It was probably you. I'm not very fast. But anyways, the pose I wanna do right now is actually not just a pose, it's a little bit of a flow. If you guys remember when we did those sun salutations last time, we're gonna do one of those again right now. But we're gonna do it just a little bit faster since we know more about it now. So actually, I can see in the camera from there, I think that's a little beam of sunshine. If it's not, I'm gonna sound like a crazy person, but I think it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you to the sun behind me. Thank you, sun. And if you guys have a window near you or you're outside, go ahead and say thank you. Because why not? We should be thankful. So let's see if you guys remember. Are we gonna start at the back of the mat? Or the middle? Nope, you guys are so good at this. The top of the mat, you're right. And what we're gonna do is sweep our arms all the way up, just like the sunrise. And then all the way down, just like the sunset. Then we're gonna bring our hands to our shins, look out halfway, breathe in. Breathe out, hands come all the way down. We're gonna take a super big jump all the way back and then lower onto our bellies. From here, we're gonna do a new pose called Cobra. So in order for us to do Cobra, we're gonna start right with our chin on the ground. We're gonna bring our hands right by our shoulders. And we're just gonna slowly lift our shoulders and our head off the mat just like this. So you're gonna feel it in your back. And if you want to, you can make like a snake. And we're gonna lower it back down. And then one more time, let's go all the way up, like a cobra. And all the way down. This time we're gonna go to upward facing dog. So we're gonna bring our hands just a little bit further back. And we're this time gonna lift even our stomach off the ground. So it's just our hips. Your back might crack because mine just did, but that's totally okay. And what we're gonna do from here is go right back to that tabletop position. We're gonna tuck our toes and take it back to downward facing dog. And we're gonna hold this here for 2 breaths. So if you wanna wag your tail or walk your dog, feel free to do so. But just remember, you have to keep that smile on your face. And then from here, we're gonna walk our feet all the way up to our hands. And you guys keep facing me, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn around and face you. So while we're in our forward fold, what I want you to do is take your feet just like a little bit far apart. Not super far. If you wanna measure it, you can take your 2 fists like this and place them right in the middle of your feet, and then that's your distance. And I want you to just release your arms and kind of shake it out. We're gonna go a little bit side to side. And you're gonna feel this in the back of your legs. Kind of just stretching you out, right? Maybe in your lower back a little bit. And then we're just gonna release that and calm it down. And we're gonna bring our hands to our hips. And with the straightest back you've ever seen, looking out in front of you, you're gonna make your way all the way up to standing. And you might wanna shake that out just a little bit. Do a little hop, maybe even a spin, whatever you guys wanna do. The next pose we're gonna do, you've probably heard of before. It's called tree pose, and you've probably even seen it before. This is because it's very, very well-known pose in yoga. And in order to do it, we're gonna go ahead and bring our feet that same distance apart they were before. And we're gonna start to waddle like a penguin. I know you're probably wondering, why a penguin? Penguins don't have anything to do with trees. But we need to learn how to shift our balance from one side to the other side. And just like penguins, we're kind of waddling. But notice our weight's going from our left side to our right side. And then I want you to go ahead and meet us back in the middle. Let that go. And we're gonna this time only put our weight in our left leg. So if we wanted to, we could totally shake around our right leg. But we're gonna bring our feet together, keeping the right foot off the floor. We're gonna place our toes down and turn our knee out to the side. So the first option for tree pose is to just keep your foot right here. You can bring your hands to your heart center and find your balance right there. But if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can bring the foot just below your knee. And while you're doing this pose, you want to focus on one thing out in front of you that's not moving. So I'm using my fire pit that's out in front of me. And if you're ready for even more of a challenge, you can bring that foot all the way above your knee. It's just very important that we don't put that foot on our knee. And no matter which of those spots you're at, you're totally killing the game. You look amazing. But notice you might lose your balance just a little bit. That's just because you're a tree in the wind. It's totally normal. Trees move in nature, don't they? We're gonna bring our hands right to our heart. And I want you to take 5 deep breaths in this pose. And just pretending you're in a forest, surrounded by a bunch of other trees. And take that last breath. And to move out of tree pose, we're just going to release our hands. We're going to bring that knee and face it to the front and just slowly place it down. You're probably feeling a little bit off balance. In order to fix that, we have to do the other side, right? But before we do that, let's shake it off. Let's shake it off. Do a spin, do a jump, do whatever you want to do. Run up and down, run side to side. And just to kind of recenter, we're going to go back to that penguin waddle, because it's also one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes I wish I was a penguin. If you could be any animal, what would you want to be? Comment it below. Also, tell me why you'd want to be that animal. This time we're going to shift all of our weight to our right side. You have the same 3 options. So option 1 is to turn the knee out and have the heel on your ankle and just stay right there. Option 2, we're going to bring that foot just below the knee. In option 3, we're going to place our foot all the way above our knee on our inner thigh. So once you've found what you're most comfortable with, I want you to find that focus point again. I'm going to use something different this time just because my head is placed a little bit differently. And what that focus point is also called is a dristi. That's just another cool name for it in a language called Sanskrit. Making sure to bring your hands right to your heart center. And again, just knowing that you might be a tree in the wind. And maybe if you're feeling super off balance today, that's totally okay. Maybe you're a tree in a hurricane. Or even a tornado. I wonder, maybe one day we'll do that. We'll figure out how to become spinning trees. Because that would be really cool. But anyways, hands on our heart center. We're going to take 3 more breaths right where we are. Big inhales. Big exhales. One more inhale. And then exhale, we're going to bring our hands down, we're going to bring our knee to the front, and we're going to place it right down and shake it off. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Maybe you can even do a dance move. I like this one. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of fun. Now that we've done tree pose, you've learned a couple new poses today, like cobra and tree, and you even learned a different version of cat and cow pose. But there's one more thing I want to show you. And this pose might seem like it's super duper boring, but it's actually really, really good for you. And it's really calming. It's called Shavasana. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down. And this pose is super duper easy to get into. And you guys are going to think I'm crazy by saying it's actually one of the hardest poses in yoga. But let me explain to you why it's the hardest pose in yoga. The goal, when you get there, is to be completely still and completely silent for a little while. So for this, we're going to try to do it for 1 full minute. We're not going to move. We're not going to speak. We're just going to breathe. So to get into this pose, you ready? This is going to sound super crazy. We're just going to lay down. We're literally just going to lay down on our back just like this. We're going to bring our hands by our sides. We're going to close our eyes. And for 1 full minute, we're not going to move at all. I'm going to talk you through this minute, don't worry. If your mind is telling you that you need to move, just completely ignore it. And if your mind is telling you to think about this or think about that, just completely ignore it. Go back to that intention that you set. But this time, instead of saying whatever it is you were saying, just say in your mind, I am peaceful. I am calm. This pose is great because it's actually going to end up giving you more energy. You're going to feel super energized, and we're almost done with that minute, so don't worry. Stay strong. Don't move your fingers. Don't move your toes. Not quite yet. Just take in 1 more big inhale. And 1 exhale, I want you to just sigh out. Just make noise with it. Just let go of everything we just did. And start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe bend your knees, bend your arms, and just make your way up to a seated position whenever you're ready. So your seated position could be crisscross applesauce, your legs could be in front of you, they could be to the side, they could be all over the place, whatever's comfortable. I do want you to bring your hands right to your heart center once you get here. And I want you to close your eyes again and just tuck your chin just a little bit. And I want you to say thank you to yourself. Give yourself the credit. You guys just completed a yoga class. That's kind of a hard thing to do. So just say thank you. Thank you to yourself. And then I want you to open your eyes and look out in front of you. And if you're doing this class with someone, I want you to turn and look at them. Or if your parents are home, or you're with your grandparents or your aunts or uncles, whoever else is with you. Or if you're not with anyone, think about someone you love. And I want you to just say thank you to them for being who they are. Learning to practice gratitude. Gratitude also means being thankful. We're lucky to have everything that we have. It's very important to every once in a while just think about all the things we do have and say thank you. And this time I want to end our class off with a namaste. So on 3, we're all going to scream namaste. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Do you guys want to meet my dog? Come here, Blue Blue. Come here. Come here. Come here. This is Blue. That's it. That's another episode of Yoga with Lexi. I think that's what we're going to call it. For right now, that's what we're going to go with. But thank you guys for watching, and thank you for supporting. And now you have a couple new poses to practice. Again, we're taking it super easy in the beginning, but I promise before you know it, you're going to be doing a one-handed handstand, running all around the pool. Who knows, maybe that's taking it a little far, but we'll see. We'll see. It's one thing that makes me super duper happy is seeing all of these pictures of you practicing your yoga. So if you're doing this yoga, don't be afraid to send me a picture. Message it to me on Instagram, post it on your Instagram story. I want everyone to have the opportunity to find yoga. So if you guys really don't mind, please don't be afraid to share this video to whoever you want to. If it's something they're interested in, or if you think it's something they might be interested in, please feel free to just forward it, to post about it. I would absolutely love that, and I appreciate all of you guys' support more than you know. And I am so thankful for this opportunity. I love you guys. Thank you. And bye.